Well, as you can see, I have the iPhone 17 Pro and the Pixel 10 Pro here with me for another smartphone camera comparison to see how these two devices compare in everyday use. Let's take a look. Well, it is a little bit of a windy day here in Cleveland, but we're going to do some video capture on these two devices, starting off with the ultra-wide camera, moving into that main sensor, just to get in a little bit closer. In situations like this, the main sensor is always going to have the best dynamic range, so always the best sensor to shoot with. But if you want to bump in a little bit closer, we have a 2x digital zoom on both of these. But of course, the best video is going to be the dedicated telephoto periscope cameras, 4x on the iPhone, 5x on the Pixel, as you can see here. In looking at the camera setup on the iPhone 17 Pro, it's pretty impressive with three 48 megapixel sensors, one for the ultra wide main and another for the 4x telephoto. And then flipping things over to the selfie camera, we have a brand new 18 megapixel sensor, but this is different than most other sensors. It is square, allowing you to capture photos and videos in landscape and portrait, no matter how the phone is being held. And that can capture 4K video at 60 FPS, and the rear camera is 4K at up to 120. As for the Pixel 10 Pro, it has a fairly similar setup with a 50 megapixel main sensor, two 48 megapixel sensors, one for the ultra wide, another for the 5x periscope camera on the back. And then flipping things over to the selfie camera, there's a 42 megapixel sensor there, can capture 4K video at 60 FPS, as can the rear cameras on the back of the phone. If you've been watching my camera comparisons for years now, you probably know that I typically end up in the same 3 to 4 spots every time, but I decided to come to downtown Cleveland this time just to give you guys a little bit of change of scenery. But one thing that a lot of people don't know about this bridge right behind me, this is the Detroit Avenue Bridge that connects to downtown Cleveland. It actually has a secondary level below it that used to be for a streetcar or a light rail line years ago. It's abandoned now, but they do open it up every couple times a year so that you can walk through it. I haven't done it yet, something that's definitely on my bucket list to do. But let's zoom into it with the rear cameras on the back of the phone to see if we can see any of that. So we're starting off here with the metal trusses area. As you can see, there's a secondary level there that was for the streetcars. This stretches all the way across. It's fairly long to downtown. And then there's actually an underground train station below Terminal Tower right here. That's why it was called Terminal Tower, because it was the terminal station for the trains that came into town and also the light rail. I have to zoom all the way out just to show you how far away we actually are, way across the river on the other side. Well, this here's a look at video capture from the selfie cameras on both of these devices, and honestly, the iPhone does look better here. It always has, though the skin tones are a little bit warmer than what they should. The Pixel always seems to have this grayish tone for at least my skin. It makes me kind of look like a zombie sometimes. But I'm going to flip things around to the main camera just to show you how much of a difference there is between the selfie camera and the main camera in situations like this. And here we go, looking at the main sensors on the back of both of these devices. You can probably tell there's better dynamic range here than what you got with that selfie camera. The video should be a little bit clearer as well because of that larger sensor, but because of that, you also get a shallower depth of field. What you're seeing behind me should be a little bit out of focus as opposed to me in front being completely crisp and in focus. But let's switch over to the ultra wide camera because I'm going to show you just how much better of or wider field of view you can get with that, which makes it a lot easier to frame yourself in a situation like this. And here it is, the ultra wide camera on both the iPhone 17 Pro and the Pixel 10 Pro. If you're holding this out in front of you, this is probably the easiest one to use for capturing video of yourself. Just hold it out right in front of you and you'll pretty much make sure you'll get yourself in focus every single time. But let me know what you think of the selfie camera going from that to the main and then to the ultra wide, and which one you prefer on each of these devices. Well, now that it's gotten darker, it's time for some low light photo and video samples with the iPhone 17 Pro and the Pixel 10 Pro to see how they perform when lighting conditions aren't really ideal. Let's take a look. And for video in low light, we're starting things off with the periscope zoom cameras, 4x and 5x respectively. And if you want to zoom out just a little bit, we have a 2x digital crop on that main sensor. Of course, that main sensor is always going to be the best sensor for capturing videos and photos in low light conditions. And then also moving out to the ultra wide camera just to get that wider field of view, get everything in your shot. And this here's another look at video capture from the selfie cameras on both of these devices in low light conditions. Honestly, they both do really well here. The iPhone seems to have a little bit better color tones in this situation. Definitely skews better in low light here than it did in daylight, just because that was a little bit a touch too warm. But I'm going to flip things over to the main camera just to show you the difference between the selfie camera and the cameras on the back of the phone. Okay, so starting off with the ultra wide camera, which is always going to be slightly better than what you get from that selfie camera. It is that wider field of view, so it's a little bit easier to frame yourself. But of course, the main sensor, just because it's so much larger, is going to be the best one, which I'm going to show you right now. And here we go, the main sensor on the back of the iPhone 17 Pro versus the Pixel 10 Pro. Let me know what you think of these different sensors on the back of the phone in low light conditions. I'm just staring at the back of the phone, so I really don't know how this is going to turn out, but this should be the best one possible for capturing video in low light situations, as opposed to that selfie camera, which is always just the most convenient. But if you want the best video possible, just flip the phone around. And that's going to do it for this camera comparison between the iPhone 17 Pro and the Pixel 10 Pro. Let me know what you think of the results in the comments below, and which device you would rather use on a day-to-day basis for your photos and videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.